who do the cost seg program.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're supposed to be joining us, but I realized that what's on here is a Google Meet link, not the Zoom link.
Is it a calendar occasion?
It is.
Maybe update the calendar occasion with the Zoom link.
Who's that?
So I'm trying to log in there. The cost seg people have a Google Meet over here. So I'm logging in over there to tell them to come over here.
Yeah.
Laura, can you do me a favor? Can you just text me the link to this Zoom and then I'll,
I got it.
okay.
Yeah.
got it.
Do you want me to give it to?
I got it.
Oh, I can't add it to their thing because they created the calendar occasion.
Yeah. It's so bright that we're like washed out. Too much natural light.
Maybe.
Oh, wow.
When do you guys do your podcast?
Well, generally every couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took some time off.
Oh, well, so how often do you release content?
Well, for the podcast every couple weeks.
Got it.
But literally this, we do a lot of promo videos anyhow on our webinar. We're on webinars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm taking a guy to the airport, okay? It was a pleasure meeting you guys. I'll be in touch. I'm gonna take you.
I love it.
I can't wait to get the results of my test.
I'm so glad. That's gonna be so fun.
You doing the investor?
Yes. Yep. So exciting.
Excited.
Forgive me for intruding.
No,
You're good.
no interruption. So what he's talking about yesterday, I was sharing, and this is actually kind of cool for given what you guys do. So, Tommy created an investor survey because I share my story that it took me 20 years to figure out. I like two things. As an investor, I like to be the bank and rent dirt. Now I did all the different investment types, but it took me 20 years to figure out. And so with that, he built a custom AI investor profile. And so it takes about 20 minutes to go through. It's like 125 questions. And from that, literally what we give people is literally we're able to pinpoint who they are, what type of investor they are, what type of investments will make their heart sing. And then it gives them a 90-day and a 12-month blueprint.
Mark,
Hey, Mark, we are I need to give you the link over here that we're gonna have you on. So
have them
2
go to
seconds.
Landshark Mastermind.
Okay, I guess that's the easier way.
Yeah, landsharkmastermind.com/webinar, and he can click on the link to get into the webinar right there. Yeah.
So we're over there waiting for you.
Is it in the mastermind?
Landsharkmastermind.com/webinar.
Yeah, let's make sure both Mark and Andrew get in there.
Yeah. We're here in Florida at this investor meeting, so.
Hey, it's Andy. How are you?
Hey, Andy, we are over on another link. So I came in here to jump on to point you to the other one. So if you go to landsharkmastermind.com/webinar, we are over there waiting for you guys.
Our active Zoom links right there on the page.
So I'm sorry, what's the website again?
Landsharkmastermind.com/webinar.
Deal room webinar.
Yep.
What do I do? Just join live on Zoom?
Going live on Zoom.
My camera's not working for some reason.
You're okay,
Let's see
that's
if this
all
thing-
right.
Okay,
We're
I'm
not,
gonna kick off on this one then. I'll
Cool.
kick off
We'll
on
see you over
we're
there.
gonna demonstrate for you over there. So,
it. Okay, cool, thanks.
all right.
Okay, so we have them joining over there. Let me get this going live so that they can see.
This
Hold
one's
on.
gotta be on me. This one's on you. That's why I did that. See how it says switch? Or switch.
Yeah,
So that's good.
right here,
Hold on, but
with that little arrow.
hold on, but
Okay.
going right there like that. So that we can do mine from here.
This is actually, that's interesting that the camera is better on this one. Okay. Join.
Recording
I
in
do, you gotta
progress.
do it that one with that muted up. We're gonna have bad reverb.
Yep,
Got it?
yep.
All right, ready to go.
So now we gotta turn the camera on.
I got it.
Okay,
Ready to go. There you go.
now I'm gonna turn this so that you guys can see this,
There you go.
because this is where the demo is. Maybe we kind of put all the, we're gonna rearrange their stuff. Sorry, guys. Okay, right?
I'm not sure why my camera's not working, but
Okay,
anyway.
There we go.
so you're all in the Land Shark living.
Now you're in the Land Shark living room.
Okay,
Well,
Mark, it's good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you as
Andy,
well.
can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
Catherine's internet's a little, there it goes.
Cool.
Now it's working.
Okay,
yeah, we ran a stall for a minute for some reason. So do we have everybody here? Give me a thumbs up. I don't
Two
know if
thumbs
they
up.
can, are we picking up on the mics, Laura? Can you hear us on the mics?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
All right, there we go. All right.
perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for coming in this morning to the Land Shark Mastermind. My name's Tommy D and I'm with the beautiful Catherine Bell this morning. We're sharing the screen because we're actually at an investor gathering out in Lake Nona, Florida. And so the lovely people sitting across from us over there in the living room, they're waving. Oh, they're frozen on this side.
Yeah, the internet being weird.
Internet's terrible. Look
Okay,
at that. All right. So these lovely people came in. Where are you guys from? They're from Florida. So Arizona, sitting across from Florida. We were telling them about the mastermind and all the things we do. So today we've got the guests here, Andrew and Mark. We met Mark last week, 2 weeks ago.
Last
I
week.
believe.
yeah, we had lunch. When did we have lunch?
Last Thursday.
Okay. And yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about cost seg and tax strategies around cost segregation engineers and the importance of them in tax strategies, right? So what we were excited about was that we thought that with what we do with Deal Hunter, that Deal Hunter could possibly help Mark and Andrew with doing cost seg on properties. And so being that we built Land Shark basically just to do, real estate deals, all aspects of real estate are important, especially to investors and people that need to get tax write-offs and stuff. So what I thought about doing, guys, if you don't mind, is we ran a cost seg study and I want to see, since you guys are the experts, we used AI to do it. What if we got you guys to verify and validate the information? And again, if it's 100% wrong, be like, nope, this is bullshit. And we're like, okay, cool. Like we got junk, right? We learn, we do know this. I will invest $1 million to learn how to not lose 10 million before I invest 10 million and wonder if I'm going to lose it. You know what I mean? Like I'd
Yeah.
rather spend $1 million and just know this is a bad deal. Okay, boom, done. I don't even have to worry about it. Rather than spend $10 million to learn it's a bad deal and lose $1 million to do it.
Right.
It's just easier to know, no, this is junk. So, why don't we start out doing this? I'm going to share the screen here. And we'll jump right into it. If you don't mind, while I'm pulling this up, Mark or Andrew or Andy, how do you like to go by? You're on
He goes
mute,
by
partner. You're on mute.
Andy mostly.
Andy's fine. Thanks.
Okay.
Andy, awesome. All right. So Andy and Mark, do you guys want to tell us a little bit more about your company, what you do, and
Connect.
what we'll do
Yeah.
is we'll connect the dots here with this AI once I get pulled up.
Yeah, so our strength is working with owners of commercial real estate. So commercial real estate being any income producing property. So that can be a dentist office, a doctor's office, office building, a car wash, even an Airbnb, which we call a short-term rental or a long-term rental. Anything, any property that's generating income is a commercial property. And the IRS allows us to go into that property and instead of depreciating it flatline over 39 years, we can go in and break down the assets in and around that property into 5-year life, which is typically the stuff inside, carpet, cabinetry, those types of things, and 15-year, which is the property or the aspects around on the outside of the property. And once you break it into those shorter lives, now you can accelerate the depreciation, which offsets the income generated from that property. And in certain cases, it can also offset income from your other sources of income. So it's one of the best tax strategies out there from my point of view. Andy, you want to add anything to that?
No, you got it,
So,
Mark. I mean, it's that good.
He, he prompted me. Go ahead. We're on a delay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andy.
Mark covered it, I think. I think we're all good.
Yeah.
okay, cool. So, who you're sitting across in the screen, you're seeing, I know it says Catherine Bell, but we have Carol and Boyd. And why I'm really excited that all of you are here, they are lenders. And so they have a ton of clients that have these cash flowing properties, right? So you are
Yeah.
all who's that know how and connecting to be able to help the same client. So I want to make sure by the end of this that we connect all of you as well.
Awesome.
Awesome. So Mark, yeah, so to your point, what you were discussing, what we did was we pulled up a luxury property that we looked at and we were like, okay, what's the best way to go through this? And basically what we discovered was there's a two-way strategy here. When we buy the luxury property, we're going to do a cost segregation study on everything in the house and get full depreciation, year one, all that right now. And then after the end of the year, coming into the next fiscal year, we're going to fix everything up. We're going to tear out a lot of stuff, put new stuff in. Is that a strategy that's understandable and viable by you guys?
Yeah, we love that strategy because you kind of get two swings at the bat, right? You get the cost segregation study based on the property as you acquired it. And in those, a property like this, is this a home? What is this?
So on the screen here, I'm showing it's we figured it being a 7,000 square foot home, 35 years old. And all this
Perfect.
information came in off of our AI. So what we did was we factored in a real house, but then tied into it some of the other stuff. So
Okay, cool.
and
Yeah,
so
so
we went through it and just gave it some information and gave it like an inventory. So we explained the two-phase cost strategy, which is the acquisition study and then doing a renovation expansion study, which is the two-part play, right? And so in phase one, we did the interior categories of cabinetry, flooring, lighting, appliances, built-ins, millworking. And what we came up with was, it wanted to know quantity notes and stuff like that. It explained that we needed you guys to validate these numbers and how much it's worth and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I told it to pretend it was smart like you guys and assume it. And assume it based on going and getting the information off of the internet somewhere, scraping the data from like Lowe's.com or HomeDepot.com to figure out like how much cabinets would cost, how much flooring is, etc. But what it did was it gave me a fair understanding of how you guys operate without wasting a bunch of time with you guys on a fake case study. We were able to see like also the pool, outdoor living, the recreation, patio areas, and all that stuff. So once we did the breakdown of all of that, we discovered that we had a conservative, existing basis of about 800,000, all the way up to an income offsetting example of almost 1.2.
Beautiful.
So looking at this, does this somewhat like, can you guys explain this to somebody like who's watching this for the first time and understand why would I inventory the kitchen cabinets and the light bulbs and all of that and the swimming pool? How does all that help me save money on my taxes?
Yeah, so beautiful. Okay. So this is a home. So typically on these, we're going to find, between, as you've shown there, 20 to 30% of the value of that home is in these short life assets, right? And so what we do is we identify those, we inventory those, we look behind the walls at the electrical, the plumbing, all of it to try to find anything that we can take from a 39-year life down to these short lives. And then what happened is, President Trump gives us the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which says any asset with less than 20-year useful life, you can depreciate it in this year now, right? So it's like depreciation on steroids. And so again, we take that depreciation in the short lives, we basically take it all in the current year, and that then would offset the income generated by this property. And potentially other sources of income based on how much you're involved with this property. And I'll let Andy explain a little more on that. So that's the first swing of the bat, right? That $800K to $1.2 million that Tommy just described, that's the sweet spot on that first swing of the bat. Now you come in a year later and you do all of these renovations. The IRS calls that qualified improvement property 15 years. And again, what does the One Big Beautiful Bill say? Anything less than 20 years, you take it all in the current year, right? So that renovations done a year later, the vast majority of that, not just 20 to 25 to 30%, like in the first ring of the bat, but now we're talking 80 to 90% of that gets taken in the current year. So that's the big swing of the bat, second time, and a huge tax offset there. Andy, what do you want to add?
Yeah, that first study that's being completed on the acquisition is our job is to go in and identify all the components. I mean, not dissimilar to what this has. If you look at number 5 categories, these are the things identified. The trick is to identify everything, as Mark mentioned, but then also to have a reliable cost source. Tommy had mentioned Lowe's or HomeDepot.com. I mean, reliable cost source, not something the IRS recognizes. We use RS Means or Marshall Valuation Services data in order to reconstruct those components at the component level into the entire home. And so on that first go of 800,000 to 1.2 on the acquisition, Mark mentioned a year elapsing before you tear it out and do the improvements and go for that second swing at the ball. The reason that is because the IRS is going to look at intent. So if you go in and buy it and you place it into service, or it's ready for its intended use the day after you close, is it placed in service? Yes, it is. But if you automatically right after closing start swinging a hammer and tearing things apart, you never really rent it, then there's probably an issue there. So if you let it a year elapse, I think that's enough time to do two things, which is number one, get the benefit on the front side with the purchase price acquisition, the cost segregation study there, and then as Mark mentioned on the QIP, the second half, which would be then the costing, because you actually have the cost associated with doing that work. But a great big tax benefit on the second side, the QIP.
Right. Well, and just so that we're like keeping up with you guys, because here's what I know. Sometimes the uber smart and the geniuses of the world have a hard time conveying information downstream, if you will. And so just for the folks at home a little bit more like me, basically what I'm able to do is itemize this property like I would my tax return. If I'm a W-2 check earner and I got I've been a 1099 guy because I'm blue collar. My checks come to me in 1099 form. I got to come up with cost segregation studies, if you will, of what it costs me to make that money. And those are called deductions. So CPA walks me through it. But every year I'm learning all the cool stuff I get to write off. One year it's my mileage, the next year it's my truck, right? And what you guys do is you guys do this on commercial property, residential if it's income producing, but mostly commercial income producing property is where we're going to see the most benefits of the cost segregation study you guys provide. Correct?
And if we're talking about Airbnb, that's considered commercial because the rental is 7 days or less. So the IRS says that's more like a hotel than a long-term rental. So we're going to treat it as a commercial asset. So if you were to straight line depreciate it, it would be over 39 years of the basis, right? But
Nice.
what we do to break it down even more simple is when you bought that property, you probably got an appraisal on it, if you got financing. And so you got an appraisal and the appraiser says it's worth $1 million. Cool. What we go in is not so dissimilar as an appraiser, although we're not appraisers, we're engineers, as we go in and say, great, it's $1 million and you paid $1 million for it. Um,
Right.
let's break down each component and say that $1 million equals, you know, $25,000 of carpet, $10,000 of LVP, $50,000 of plumbing, 100,000 of HVAC. I'm making numbers up, but at the end of the day, we take that $1 million and break it out into the individual components to make the property, and that allows us to say the short-lived assets, the IRS has assigned asset lives to certain assets. We carve those and put those in one bucket, two buckets, and three buckets: the 5-year, 15, and then the long life. And then that, as Mark mentioned, anything with a class life less than 20 years, you can depreciate a whole lot faster. And because of the one big beautiful bill, you can do it all in the current tax year.
Right. Well, and that's kind of what we brought you on to show you was how we're doing this with AI and what AI is able to help us with. This study was created outside of the conversation that we had with AI yesterday while I was driving down I-4 from Tampa. Basically, you can see here my recorded message for 4 seconds. I'm looking for, I've got an investor with a $1 million tax liability. Let's reverse irrigation study is. And so over that 50-minute conference with my deal hunter by Landshark, that's the report. It basically refused to do was give me actual numbers. I could force it to, but you guys said you guys get your numbers from a different API source. I'm pulling mine from Lowe's, Home Depot here. See what my sources were. I got the IRS, the Treasury. At least it's pulling valid, from valid sources. How to claim 100% bonus depreciation. This is an article written, it looks like, up on a exterior website. It looks like a CPA firm, and it's got a pretty decent article about it. So what I did when I created this GPT was I said, because I have a degree in science, I said, you're going to study, you're going to go out and get research, but you're going to supply me with the references and sources, just like we're supplying an APA format. I wanted it to produce APA formatted research, right? So I taught it how to do that. So, and so that's what it does. It goes out and grabs viable sources, brings it back, and then turns around and tags that into it. So, this is important also to the fact that, I'm able to then verify, validate and verify everything that it's told me, so that when I do ask the questions, how I'm going to answer based on questions I ask, right?
They're giving loans to people. Like this is a whole new layer. Oh, by their
Right.
way for you to have
You can get the loan, but here, let me show you how to save on your
you
paying
become even
taxes.
more valuable.
Yep.
right?
And Boyd and Carroll can make you get the loan.
Yeah.
Right. Get the funding. So,
So are you all seeing the connection here?
right. Well, and then the other thing is Deal Hunter. Like it's a machine that I've created to do this right here. Like this is what it's really good at, is finding property. Like I literally was driving down the road. I don't know if it's going to pull up these pictures, but I was driving down the road and I seen a sign for sale. 7.78. Here we go. Look at these pictures. Like this is how it works
As we were driving.
for us
you
as
just
real estate
seen-
developers. I got this one picture, that picture. It barely shows the phone number in that picture. Yeah, it shows the phone number from there,
You can call Jeff.
right? And then so this is all I took pictures of. And what I did was I said, look up this property, see if it's listed on Boggy Creek Road in Orlando.
Found it.
Boom, found it, found out who listed it, phone number, all the stuff. And it starts bringing me back information and supplying me with information. I said, okay, cool. It identified it. I said, now run this deal. The first thing he wants to do is underwrite it like I do, like I think. It's thinking, okay, what do you want to do, boss? iOS yard, truck parking, contractor yard, boom, boom, boom. So if I could train AI to think like a real estate developer like this, right? And it's giving me like a back of the napkin example right there, saying that I've got 80 trucks, 250 a month, occupancy 90%. Here's your cost. Here's your assumption. Here's your cap. Here's your value. Don't offer more than 2.49, right?
So now as lenders, how valuable
Boom.
would this be to be able to see this with your clients,
4 pictures, 10 words,
right?
right? And
Like
it's
3 words,
because
run this deal.
run this deal. I can do this not only for lenders, but I can do it for cost seg guys where the
Right.
cost segregation engineers. Like, again, this comes down to, I'm an expert developer. I don't need to take 40 steps to figure out what I need to be the expert at. So what do? I hire people, and then people hire other people. And then I'm working with like a team of people
Yep.
to discover what I just found in 7 minutes. No, I don't need to do that no more. I don't need to. I need to be able to be a developer, the expert, and be like, okay, yeah, that's worth looking at and calling. When I seen that it said 2.5, the minute I call that guy who's not going to answer the phone, it's going to end up, because realtors aren't using this yet, right? That realtor that has his name there and listed there, I'm going to have to go get on LoopNet, see if I can track it down and find out. It's probably going to say call for pricing, which is then again another wild goose chase, right? Because that property may not be for sale. He just got a sign on it to generate leads, right? And bring phone calls in. So again, I'm going to use AI to help me minimize the 40 steps it takes for me to be the genius,
Yep.
right?
Think about how much time this would save you.
I was thinking just time wise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
my clone has had 118,000 conversations with people that I couldn't have, right?
Well-
So Andy, we're catching you up on the conversation. Mark's heard this. We spent the day yesterday, just walking through all the things that we've done with AI and literally the hundreds of thousands of hours that this has saved us and our company, and then the other companies that we've actually set up these AI tools for. It's a game changer because AI isn't meant to replace human beings. It's meant to take away and do the mundane tasks so that we can be working on our business rather than in our business.
So, and another example, this is another AI model that we built. The AI model that we built for doing fix and flips and buy and holds or rehabs.
Tina's here.
I seen Tina, yeah.
Tina,
Where is the bathroom remodel? Let me see. Let me type that in. So I made what's called free estimates. And free estimates, you just put in some photos, put in a zip code, and what it comes back with is basically a free estimate from a general contractor, because I built it with the general contractor brain, right? And so you'll see here in just a minute as we were looking at a high-end property and we're walking through it and everything's like 25, 30 years old. So yeah, it's great luxury location, but I'm going to need to gut
Sounds
the
pretty
house, right? And so if I got to gut the house, what's that going to cost me? So with the house being built in 2001, it's not pulling up the pictures. I went through and I just took like kitchen pictures and bathroom pictures. got it in there and I said, it was built in 2001. I want to remodel the whole thing, go high end everything. Here's the pictures. I said, I want to see, I want to change all this. This is beautiful, but I mean, those cabinets dated, countertops dated, boxes dated. This is all dated. This is in a $5 million home. Come on. Like I want waterfall edges and stuff like that. I'm like, no, let's make it pretty, right? So I literally said, here's the pictures. Here's what I want. Here's the zip code. Knock it out. Comes back.
Less than a
It
minute.
identifies in less than a minute, identifies and says, here's the assessment summary. You want the existing kitchen to be this, this, this. You want everything brought up to date. Cool. Here's the estimated project costs for 2026. Pre-construction, demolition, kitchen remodel, cabinetry millwork, countertops, appliances, electrical and lighting. Now you're wondering, where's it getting the information for this? When we pull permits, we have to, as contractors, we have to write down the price of the permit. This is what they may be used for cost segregation, because we use, in order to get the free estimates, I'm using the information submitted by contractors for permits. And then I'm validating that with the products they're going to be buying from Home Depot and other stores. So as we go through the master bathroom and the kitchen remodel, it tells us it's going to be about $250,000. They ain't off. That ain't wrong. Like a conservative high-end budget, closer to like 190, but high-end could go as high as 300. I'm like, I got to see what this looks like. Like, what are you talking about? Show me some pictures. Here you go.
So it generated the pictures.
So not only did I get the price, but I also got the pictures of what it's going to look like
And the materials.
and
they're
the
gonna use.
materials that they're going to use.
And this was
in
all done.
5 minutes.
How long would it take to get you this from a contractor?
It'd never even do it. You'd never get a contractor to do all that and provide those pictures. You got to get the interior designer involved. And let me tell you what they cost. Okay. And it's because they got ideas. Ideas cost a lot of money. So I like getting them drunk and then talking to them.
So I want to talk to Mark and Andy for a sec on this. So Mark and Andy, when you're coming in, okay, so let's just, this is just how my brain works. I'm a super connector. So you get like, lenders, right? Carol and Boyd, they have a customer that's like, okay, we're buying this commercial property. Now we want to structure this out so that we can take full advantage of the cost segregation. But how do we do this? So, okay, we buy the property, you do the phase one, get the tenants in there, get that moving. But in phase two, how do you know that you're going to budget for that? Literally, you could use, again, this whole free estimate to be able to have them plan out phase two, which is in a year from now, with pictures, costs, everything, so that they can be budgeting that out. But that gets budgeted also with the lenders, because the lenders are seeing what they're needing as well, which also helps with their tax planning and tax mitigation. So I hope you're all seeing how this all comes together in a very cool way, very quickly.
And with you guys being these experts in cost segregation, like I know if you guys went and bought a hotel, if we went and bought a hotel, hired you guys to do the cost seg on that, like what does the price tag look like on that? Just to come in and start itemizing everything in that hotel. What ballpark would I look at?
Andy?
Well, there's a few variables. It depends on obviously the size, the complexity of the project. I mean,
Let's
we're
just
bidding.
use digits. Is it under 4 digits?
Well, I'll tell
Like
you,
I'm
we just
not
bid one
trying
the
to.
other. No, we just bid
Yeah,
one
I'm
the other
not
day.
trying
That
to
was
hook you to a price. I'm just trying to give people an understanding of the value you provide.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ROI on that on the fee that you're going to be charged is probably on the low end 20x, and then
Yeah,
it goes from there up, right? I
yeah.
mean, so that's maybe a better way to think about it and look at it, because there's complexities when it comes to the number of units, the total square footage, the lot size, and how much time and energy we're going to have to spend going through and counting and quantifying that stuff.
I'm
So
going to let people
that's
know right now. You're looking between 5 and 6, 5 and 6 numerics to get a good cost segregation study done that the IRS is not going to audit the hell out of you on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so just I won't force you guys to give me an answer. I'm gonna tell everybody in here, you're looking at spending at least uh at least 5 bands to get a good one done. Right? Like just plan on spending some money because of what it's going to return, like you said, 20x.
Right. And then on the other side, it's like having I don't know, saving yourself the brain damage of having to figure out phase two and what that's going to cost and the value that it's going to add, like right out of the gate before they've even signed the papers.
Tax planning is something that most people don't consider an issue until they have
And
money.
future planning. Yeah.
And then when they have money, they're like, oh God, I need some tax planning. But that's where they get
part of it.
that's where they get stuck, is because they don't
Too
know,
late.
well, what that's literally like, in my opinion, trying to sail the, either climb Mount Everest or sail the Nile the minute you got the idea to do it. Like, you wouldn't do either one of those. You would not go down the Amazon River or go climb Mount Everest without having some sort of plan and some professionals to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, holy crap.
And because the power of AI and how we build it all in, like now it connects all of you and all the different pieces.
And this is why
that each of you do.
my bookkeeper, when I had my roofing company,
Right.
I think I told you my bookkeeper hit the $320 million lottery in the state of Florida back then.
Oh, really?
Yep. Bookkeeper coming into work one day, she's crying. I'm like, oh my God, now what? Right. And she's like, I won the lottery. Right. 10 years later, meth addict, lost it all, everything gone, family destroyed. Like, she was going, her and her husband went to church every Sunday, like the perfect people that need to win the lottery. Within a decade, they had 4 foreclosed properties and broke as jokes and all addicts and like needed to be on a reality TV show somewhere. And I'm not talking about, MTV.
Yeah. So it's about education and better planning.
Yep, because
So-
they just went out and blew that money as fast as they could. And I guarantee they didn't do one cost segregation study on a property they bought. Not one.
Right. Well,
Not
because they don't know about it. So who here prior to today, understanding cost segregation, knew what cost segregation was? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. So this is the thing that most people never even know to plan for, and that these services are available.
Yeah.
So, and again, for you guys as lenders, this is a whole other, again, we want to put this
Resource.
into your AI
Yeah.
to be like, okay, and these are the things you need to be considering, because it's not just the basic purchase. There's actually other things that you could incorporate into this.
Yeah.
And why you would want to, like, the conversation Tommy was having yesterday with our AI was literally like, we have an investor and he has $1 million that he needs to be able to do the tax depreciation.
He
Let's
wants to write it
reverse
all off.
engineer this. And what would we need to buy and then do to it in order to get that tax write-off?
So there's the other side of it. Yeah. Where he's like, I'm going to have a $1 million tax bill. Tell me what I got to do to not have to pay that. What do I got to buy to not have to pay that? Right. And so when you get those guys, you're like, oh, okay, well, let's figure this out. What can we buy?
And then you're helping
Um,
them buy better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well,
You can build that all into your
the
clone
other
and
the,
talk
the
to
other
them.
thing is
Yeah.
is that and it's funny because they're trying to run from income. So the hard part is finding a property that doesn't income so much that it continues their problem.
Right.
Right. You want
Well-
to find something that just makes a little bit more, right? A little bit more than that. So where they're like, okay, yeah, that, because I've never heard anybody be like, oh, I got too much income until I started working with people that have cost seg issues. And then they're like, well, I don't want to add to my income. What are you doing? Like,
So Mark, now that you've seen this, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Andy and I, one of the things we try hard to do is give our clients a clear picture up front. We give them a free estimate of benefit. But what we provide is just too thin. I mean, we got to be using AI, like you showed that all that data you pulled, Tommy. If we can provide that to a client up front to make it a
Yes.
lot more
We
clear.
would love to build that out for you.
Ready for this? I'm going to go back and share my screen. Because if you go look me up on the Arizona Register of Contractors, I have a violation on my contractor's license. I got a violation on my contractor's license because I did not properly write a contract, and I had a customer get pissed off at me and they reported me. So guess what I told AI to do? I said, learn how to write an ROC contractor's license contract properly. And so now all of my, you can see right here, Arizona residential contract agreement, 100% Arizona compliant. I don't have to worry anymore if it's in there. If I
This
put
is
it
the power.
every
of
single time,
Custom AI.
every single time, it'll put it all in there every single time. If I tell it that I want it ready for this, I love playing with this. Write it in the tone and accent of a pirate. I have a pirate. Hey, I can absolutely rewrite. So again, it rewrote my entire contract.
Ahoy there, matey.
Ahoy there, matey. So again, it does it AI is that's what AI does. AI does whatever you tell it to do, and it doesn't ask if you're crazy, right? So the owner of the fine
Located in the
Scottsdale
waters of
estate,
Scottsdale, Arizona, like the non-existent waters of Scottsdale, Arizona. That's awesome.
right? Like,
That was some of the correct.
oh, I'll do rewrite as someone with Tourette.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Maybe AI is going to be like, you know what? No, that's a little,
Horrible.
yeah, a little bit too mean. You're being a little bit too mean.
Oh god.
Said it right there. It says, if you want a fictional version, you know, we'll play with you like that, but we're not doing that one. We're not doing that one.
For humor, but.
Yeah. It understood what we were after, but it's like, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to make fun of people. We're not doing it. So AI actually has moral and ethical values. You just gotta poke it the right way, right? Prompt it the right way. But really, what it comes down to, Andy and Mark, is the fact that, like, let me show you real quick. Everybody's like, what do you use? Claude? Do you use Gemini? Do you use ChatGPT? And I'm like, I use them all. I use them all
But we
because
customize them.
they do different things.
Yeah.
One thing that ChatGPT does better than all the other ones is it allows everybody in this room to use what I created. You can go to Gemini and Claude and all that, and you can't use what I created in Claude Gemini. If I made it in Claude Gemini, I got to publish it to the public for the public to be able to use it, but they're not using what I actually, and I'm unable to collect that data. What I did was in ChatGPT, you can go into ChatGPT and there's a prompt to explore GPTs, and you can go and look up GPTs. Let me see if there's like a GPT store. Where's your button at, babe?
It's weird because it's normally like right here.
Yeah.
I don't know. ChatGPT is being weird today.
So I think, let me see.
Normally it sits right there above projects.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Interesting. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't like the app. I use the I can show them on the browser.
we might switch over to that. Yeah, hold on. No, it's not letting me dig around. What is
Apps
this?
being dumb. That just hides the.
Yeah, no. All right. So
Let me show the browser.
let me duck this out of the way real quick. And inside the browser,
So it's all about customizing it, and the underlying foundation is the Rosetta Stone that we build out. It all comes down to your foundation. You know, like anything, the taller the building you want to build, the deeper and wider the foundation you got to build. And it all comes down to what's underneath that you start building these on. And once you know how to do it, it's awesome. It's endless. You. Do you want me to do it?
it won't type.
Okay.
I was just trying to, yeah, I was just trying to switch. Never mind.
So,
This is yours, by the way. This is yours,
right.
not mine. So inside of ChatGPT, they have GPT. It's called the GPT marketplace, basically. Inside of GPT marketplace, you can find,
The app that it connects to is the
Yeah.
marketplace. The marketplace is down low,
oh, right here,
right there, explore GPTs.
inside Explore GPT. So Zillow, Canva, Expedia, they all have this GPT model thing. Like you can see here on my screen, you click on Expedia and Expedia will pop up with a chat GPT to start talking to a chat GPT. They've had over 300,000 conversations and basically like you can have any conversation about traveling that you want. Expedia put a brain in there to do that. Right. And so as you go through the different models here, these are models created by other people, other businesses, other professionals that they wanted to rinse and repeat. What GPT literally stands for is a protocol of just repeat behavior constantly, right? Repeat behavior constantly. So if you do a repetitive task, build a GPT for it and it'll eliminate you having to
So that
continue
your
to do it.
customers, your internal team, everybody can use it. If multi-million-dollar companies are building this, we call this a clue,
Yeah, this
right?
is
Every
my
company
sign
should
that
have their
we're
own custom
what's fun is that
GPT.
I've had my GPTs longer than all them. Right. And I have obscurity as my issue. Nobody's able to see mine. I was at the top of the menu. Like when you would type in here deal hunter a long time ago, it was the first thing to pop up. But now you literally have to type in deal hunter by land shark in order for it to propagate. Let me see. There it is. And deal hunter by land shark was the AI model that we built to specifically focus on hunting down deals.
You all can use this,
Yeah.
and when you open it, it just says pin to sidebar, and then it stays in your sidebar, so you can keep using it all the time.
Right.
And the other one is free estimates. That's the one we got the bathroom. So again, you just have to take a few pictures, an address.
I could have tied the two together, like look for property and be able to give me free estimates. But then what I'm doing is I'm decreasing the ability of this thing to perform at its genius level, right?
Yes.
And so the one that does just my deal sourcing, my due diligence, it is my real estate investing assistant. That's all it does. We call on free estimates now, like just like I would a contractor. Not gonna expect my realtor to understand what a contractor does. And so I built these two specifically to do that. And then outside of that, we even built like the Land Shark Investor Survey. This is what I encourage everybody to take. I took all of the investor gurus that I know, Pace Morby, Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, Gary Keller, and I put their personalities. I went and researched their personalities, taught this GPT to understand what their mindsets are, develop questions about their style or what they call their developed 125 question survey that you can now take in order to discover, are you more like Grant Cardone or are you more like Dave Ramsey? Two totally different strategies. And so if you're trying to be Grant Cardone, but your heart is 100% Dave Ramsey, you're going to understand this now, why it makes sense to not be so debt causes you stress. That's why you hate doing the deals you're doing. So if you can find a way to eliminate debt, my issue was always debt. I found equity. I love equity. Now I understand equity. Boom. I'm using equity instead of debt, which basically is the same thing, but it's just structured differently. And I got to understand why I enjoy equity more is the delayed satisfaction of building something that becomes profitable or valuable. I'm not a find something of value up front and then get into debt with it. It stresses me out because then it's too much pressure. Right. And so my Land Shark Investor Survey pointed that out about me. And then I've got people now that are just focused on doing duplexes, multifamily, triplexes. They love that stuff. They stay away from fixing and flipping. They hate it. And I'm like, and they discovered it right there, and so it's got 7 personality types, 9 archetypes, 13 supporting personalities. And what we do is we take that analysis, we merge it into what I call my this is Catherine's, but I have a real estate investor a virtual board. I bring everybody, tell me what, what this person needs to focus on. And so all those gurus they're able to then reevaluate the 125 question results and come back with a 90-day blueprint and a 12-month business plan that says, this is what you need to focus on and do. Start looking for deals, run 100 deals a month, do cold calling for 90 days. Like, it tells people whatever, based on their answers, what they should try to focus on and give them guidance into doing it. And that's been huge. So that's inside of there. And then, we also, I know you guys are big into tax things, but this is what we wrote for our tax clients that are looking for capital gains relief. I know it's taxed differently than active income. Is there any relief to capital gains doing cost segregation studies?
Depends on if
Is that-
you are a real estate professional or not, right?
Got it.
To be able to use that, the benefit of a cost seg to offset capital gains. Like short-term
Got
rentals,
it.
you can use that to offset capital gains. Yeah.
Nice. Well, with us for capital gains, opportunity zones is what we've been studying for so long. And so we built out this opportunity zone 2.0 GPT so that people can case study, they can analyze, they can discover, and they can even start putting together and developing these real estate deals for opportunity zone development. So we built that GPT specifically that kind of help people and push people into putting their capital gains into other places other than 1031 exchange projects. So but yeah, that's how we've been able to take advantage of AI. We'd love the opportunity to talk with you guys about how we can help Ortodo. Tell us, I'm gonna I said it wrong, I'm sure. Otro. Otro. I'd like to give them the mic. Do you have your mic?
Yeah.
Can you guys tell us a little bit about Otro Financial and do the introductions here?
Yeah,
You all want to have them as your contacts.
thank you. Yes, good afternoon. I'm Carol Guevara and I'm here with Boyd. We are from Otro Financial. Otro is the Spanish word that means other or alternatives. So we're that alternative because bank rejects a lot of people because they're really getting very sensitive nowadays. So we are business loan brokers. So anything related to commercial real estate, anything in business, startups, small and big, huge ones, huge projects, we can help. And what we do is we're matchmakers as well. Like we match the perfect lender or the few perfect lenders for the project. And we love solving problems every day. That's what we do. And we try to get creative. We like to have, of course, all the ideas possible we can to be able to fund your project or your deal and get you to hopefully the end, the end zone in the matter of time that we need. So you want to share something else?
Yeah, so, we love having the flexibility to bring in, the right lender for the right situation, as opposed to a banker who only has what the portfolio of offerings that bank has.
Right.
We can go anywhere with anybody, we can fund essentially anything, anywhere.
Everywhere.
We haven't had a limit yet, on how high we can go. Any reason to develop this right, to find a funding source. In most cases, you can't say every case, but we've got a great track record. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on.
Thank
So here I pulled up on
Is this your
GPT. This is
contact
their
info?
info. If these is this the way that they can get a hold of you the best way? 321-421-0355.
Yes.
Yes.
Best is actually our email address.
Yes.
So
Email.
this is, so, this all came up off of Chat GPT, and here's why we're telling you this is because Chat GPT is the new Google. Like
Yeah.
it's Google is gone. And so by having your custom GPT in here, having your AI and everything built in here, all of a sudden, anytime people are looking for lenders, literally, like now you pop up. So for instance, Catherine Bell is a really famous actress. If you Google Catherine Bell, that's who comes up. If you Chat GPT Catherine Bell, I'm the one that comes up. So really fascinating. So this is why having your like your custom GPT and everything built inside of this all of a sudden elevates you to a whole new level and now has people when it's searching, it's like, oh, these people are legit. This is where you go.
Yeah. Thank you for that, like,
Absolutely. So you can see there, it pulled your the email that's most popular,
yeah.
Boyd at Otro Financial.
I think we're good. Thank you.
You're good?
Yeah,
They're gonna boot it on.
yeah, we're almost done.
Reference Tommy Gafford. Too. So.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that'll be good to know,
Yes.
connect each other, so, yeah.
The maitre d came over, so I think we're gonna end up bouncing out of here early.
Right, they're kicking us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still.
We
they're
still
kicking
got
all over
other
there.
people over there, but
Downstairs as well.
yeah.
Okay, good. We'll hang
Well,
on.
we're gonna come back tomorrow. We'll be back on tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. And Andy, Mark,
Want to make sure that Mark, that you connect with Carol and Boyd. You got their contact
guys-
information.
either one of you guys want to
Great.
put your information down in the chat so that everybody got it. We can do that for sure.
Well, and I can connect you all on a three-way text.
Yeah, that's
do
probably
that.
best.
Let's make sure
Connect you
everybody
all.
in the room though get marked up.
Yeah.
And again, I appreciate everybody coming in. You're all love to have you guys come back and talk more about cost seg. If you have any property that you're gonna have a long list of details on, I'd love to go out with you and see if there's a way that we could work AI into your program. And if so, we'd love to be the source to help you do that.
Add
Okay.
more comments. Cloud's timeline, add comments.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I wrap every day up with a prayer. So if you don't mind, bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessing of this day and the blessing of the life that we're given to do the work of your Son in this world. We ask that you bless us through his name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
And everybody have a wonderful day.
Thank
Go
you.
out and do good well. So we'll see everybody tomorrow.
ya.
Awesome. Bye, everyone.